Auth66 day, whatever it is. I'll check before I post the video. I just don't want to say in the video. And this is going to be a pretty low quality video because I'm shooting way later than I probably should and there's not enough light, but whatever. So it's the weekend, and I talked about how on the weekends I would share something, read something for you. I think last time it was poetry. I'm going to do poetry again. I'm going to read something from The Gift by Hafiz. I already mentioned how much I love poetry, but I love this writer's particular poetry. Something that's short form but kind of powerful. And it was something that was really, I don't know, maybe timely for me today. This poem's called Find a Better Job. It's not what you think. Hang with me. Now that all your worry has proved such an unlucrative business, why not find a better job? I feel like there was another poem too where it talked about a feather stuck in here. Just go look here. I've got quite a few from this author that are I've put as ones that I want to remember or hold. Isn't this great to have so much quiet on this video? This one was also kind of perfect. It's called A Strange Feather. All the craziness, all the empty plots, all the ghosts and fears, all the grudges and sorrows have now passed. I must have inhaled a strange feather that finally fell out. You know, when you are drinking water and you accidentally have some of it go down the wrong way, you feel like you have to cough and do whatever you can to get it out of there because it's uncomfortable, right? It's not where it should be. It's not normal. A lot of times worry can be the same thing. Our minds can feel like there's a feather. They can feel like something is not as it should be. And there could be many reasons for why that is. But the other poem talked about how, like, even that one, like, there's not much you can do, right? It feels uncomfortable, but you just have to kind of get it out, whether that's to talk to a friend, that's to write, sometimes to read. Do something that, you know, helps, excuse me, fill you up. This video is a mess tonight, but that's okay. Tonight is about showing up and committing. But the point of what I'm trying to say is that, like, worry is one of those things that it's not actually productive. It occupies your brain with all the things that could be. It doesn't actually control an outcome. It doesn't actually affect change. And I think I can't ever tell people to just not worry or tell myself to not worry. But I think I'm saying it's important to remind ourselves as a collective that anxiety, worry, fears, they may all be true, but they don't actually do what we need them to do in the sense of being able to prepare ourselves and be resilient. And, you know, whether I've been in conflict, whether I'm worried about an outcome, whatever the case may be, the times where I let my brain really run with worry, I actually find are very damaging. I think everybody processes differently, but, you know, if you're like me, then all that energy gets expended on thinking about all the possible what ifs. And then it's almost like my brain jumps to, that's the outcome, that's the thing, that's the feather in my throat, and that's for sure. And then I almost mourn it and have, like, grief over a thing that's not decided, that my brain has only thought is possible. And that's a really big waste, I think. I think there's a lot of things that we just don't control. And I'm trying to get better at and remind myself that whatever's going on out there in the world, whether it be positive or negative, I can feel the emotions. I can be upset. I can be worried, but I need to let it pass through me. I think being a business owner, we have the weight of staffing, of, what happens if you lose a client, what happens if, things don't work out the way that you want to, on our shoulders. And it'd be very easy to let, one negative situation or setback make you so worried that you get paralyzed. So understanding how to deal with that anxiety, worry, whatever the case may be, whether that be in the business or personally, is important. And if you think I'm on this video telling you how to do it, you could forget that. But I am thinking that this is something that I want to talk about because I wanted to make sure that we're being intentional about it, whatever that looks like for you, about letting those things pass through us instead of control us or control our actions, unless it's to maybe safeguard our heart a little bit. But in the end, worrying about something that could happen should only really inform the ways that we prepare. If you hear a bad storm is coming in, worrying that a tornado, let's say, is going to hit your house isn't going to accomplish anything. Letting the worry pass through you, creating your safety kit, your bug out bag, whatever the case may be, your plan, having everybody be on task and knowing what to do. Like, that's the way to prepare, right? Because then you're ready for what comes at you. But letting worry just occupy you without action, without, having anywhere for it to go or to be productive, that'll just, I think, eat you alive. And, in this day and age, I think there's enough things that, kind of occupy our brains or take up our resources. And I want to use some of my Auth66 to talk about the ways that we can maybe be a little more intentional with our own mental health, but not just from like mental health, let's, kumbaya, let's talk through everything, but through our actual thought processes and how we approach things. Because it's such a big part of the equation, right? We don't all have control over our minds. Mental health is the acknowledgement that those things can be beyond us. But it isn't going to get better. There's no progress that's going to be made unless we at least try to do something. At least we try to calm ourselves in whatever shape or form that works for you. And don't worry, I'm not going to tell you to meditate. I've had enough people tell me to do that in my life. Whatever it looks like for you. I wish you kindness.